Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you're listening. I wanted to talk about something that's been picking my brain for a while, and it's the current condition of the world today. Not only are governments telling us, hey, get ready, but there's a lot of things going on in this world that makes you question what the heck is happening. However, there's only a certain amount of control that we have over what's going on. If you really think about it, we are under the thumb of Mr. and Mrs. GOV. That's number one. But number two, you have some control over your life. Don't let anybody divide us. Don't let anybody tell us what's really going on. You take it upon yourself to look at what's going on, the information that's given to you, compare it to what's happening around in your surroundings, and take action. I noticed that families are breaking apart like 90 going north. Women are not caring about their children. Ladies, you are very, very important. Just as important as males. Don't let them fool you in thinking that you are more or less important than your counterpart. We are both, and let me repeat that again, we are both equally as important. Now, the thing that gets me to question you ladies is, if you are so great, so powerful, so woke, as to you are being used, and I'll repeat that again, you are being used for the destruction of humanity. Let that sink in. You could look at all the screaming buildings in China from the people starving and being controlled. You could look at all the situation in Ukraine. You could look at all the situation in Russia. You could look at all the situation in wherever part of the world. But nothing is compared to what's happening in your womb. I was just informed, April 2022, that in California, you can have an abortion as late as your 9th month. So the baby already has a name and a birth certificate waiting on the other side of that womb. And you ladies are deleting that life. Now, I understand, kind of, your body, your choice. But as an incubator, yes, I said as an incubator, you're only half of what that child's life is. The other half is the male that put that child there. Your body, your choice. Guess who gets to pick the gender? Look at that in your science book and educate yourself. The male decides what gender is going to be in your body. But that's besides the point. Male or female, we're talking about human lives that you ladies are deleting from hours of conception to the child already having full movement, body parts, brain, everything. And you ladies are deleting that life. Think about that. That's the beginning of the world, and you ladies are deleting that. Everything else that happens in the world after that is a cakewalk. All this destruction that you see, natural or not natural, it starts with you ladies. If you don't see the connection between those two, I suggest you really start thinking and looking into this, because that's where it all begins. If you could do such a crime, then everything else that happens in the world is nothing. Nothing. Because if you're deleting it and committing such crime, then what happens after that is nothing. I don't understand how something like that could be done and you can still function with people around you, with, as you people call it, society, because y'all like to blame society instead of looking within. The other thing is that with everything that's happening in the world, take care of your family. Enjoy life. Get the hell off the computer, the internet, all that fake life, electronic BS. Go out with your children. Go visit grandma. I'm sure it's been months, years, days, weeks since you guys forgot about the elderly and the needy. Start with your family. Then with your neighbors. The other thing is woke church. I believe that the Bible was put forth as a manual on how to live life. At least that's my understanding. So why are we changing the very basic rules? Basic rules of life and nature. If we start playing and changing those, what makes you think there's a guarantee? There is no guarantee. The reason why the Bible exists is because there is some sort of guarantee. There is hope, and there's other things that I'm not going to get into because it'll take days to explain for people to understand. Because Bible thumpers read the Bible like it's a math book. 1 + 1 = 2. And that's as simple as that. No. Spirituality goes beyond that. The reason why I say this is because the church, not as a building, but as a way of life, is supposed to be guided by Jesus Christ. Now, last time I checked, Jesus Christ was not a lady, a female, or a plant. Jesus Christ was a man who guided the world. And the Virgin Mary was a woman. Now, Jesus Christ was the head, and he led his people. Now, if you take those basic rules, if you want to call them that, and you look at the church today, most pastors, deacons, or whatever sit down and let their wives guide the congregation. Or they let their, even worse, girlfriends, they're not even married, and they have a woman up there guiding. Now, guiding in what way, you may say? They're guiding in the woke way. The way that is not in the Bible. And then we wonder why the world is going the way it's going. We're changing too many things. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. If you want to be a pastor because you're a single mom, then you go ahead and guide your children under your rule. But under no obligation, even in the good books, says that a woman is a pastor, a deacon, or in any position to be a leader of the church. So we're diluting the very basic rules of humanity. And then we wonder why the heck we are where we're at. You ever thought about that? We've come a long way from when we were all full of hair. to where we are today. But those small changes, such as the fire, it helped out both genders. It helped out the community. It helped out the family as a unit led by the man, the male. And I know you ladies, every time you hear man, male, or masculine, you get your hairs on the back of your neck stand up. But that's because you've been trained that way. Because there's no you without us, and there's no us without you. The minute you tilt the scale one way or the other, we're doomed. And that's what's happening today. We're being played against each other. And this is the result of everything you see in this world happening today. Ladies, you want to know where all the good men are? Think about what you've done. And then look outwards. And then you will be able to detect a good man. You could make a good man. You could turn a good friend into a good man. But you ladies don't want to. You want to chase that thrill, the Chad. You guys want to ride the carousel. Delete your imprint abilities. Because guess what? The way that you were created, after 2 to 3 Chads, your imprint abilities are gone for life. Now you say, well, how do I get that back? You won't. There's nothing in this world, there's no Viagra for females or anything that will make you get that back. However, if you have an ounce of decency and you have children, you would teach your children to say that for the right person. You will not be your child's friend. You will be your child's parent. Because that's what's happening nowadays. I hear that a lot. Oh, my wife took my child from me. So now that after a certain amount of years of not seeing my child, now I can on a temporary basis. So I'm going to be my child's friend. I don't care if they're gay, bisexual, trisexual, and everything under the spectrum. I don't care what they do, I'm going to back them up and be their friend. You do that, and you're just aiding to the destruction of your family. And you will see it. You will see it. You are a parent, you're not a friend. You could be a friend after they're married, they give you grandchildren, and they stick around. That's when you could become their friend and help them out in the day-to-day life situations. Other than that, before then, no. Because you're just aiding and abetting to a life of hell and destruction. I could guarantee that. I know I've made this video longer than any other video I've done, but I was thinking about this over the weekend, and I am just done with seeing how people are treating men, women, and children in such a different and individualistic way, if that's a word, I don't know, that it's separating everybody to a point where we're so separated and divided that we're fighting each other in some sort of way. And that only spells one thing: 100% destruction of humanity. Very simple. People, I hope that you really take this under consideration. Go out, feel the grass under your feet, take a deep breath, smell some clean, fresh air, touch the snow, go out, work with plants, start your victory garden. You must do that now. April 2022, you must start your garden. Even if it's in an apartment, by the window, or in your backyard. Talk to your neighbors. Start a community garden. Buy a little plot in between a certain amount of people. Take turns, or divide the plot of land, and everybody with their own individual talents pitch in. You must do this now. April 2022. If you're allowed to have chickens or goats or anything like that, feel free to start that now. Anything and everything you can do to be a self-sufficient individual, start now.